My name is Adrian, and in the shadowy heart of New Orleans, I run what appears to be an ordinary tattoo parlor. But I am no ordinary artist. I am a shadow ink master, a tattooist who deals in symbols laced with ancient, arcane power. The true nature of my work is hidden from most, known only to those desperate, or reckless, enough to seek it out. I've chronicled every strange, terrifying encounter in this journal. This entry begins with a woman named Emily. She burst into my shop one stormy evening, her eyes wild with fear. She introduced herself in a hushed, trembling voice. For weeks, she'd been tormented by the same nightmare, a shadowy figure creeping closer each night, its voice whispering from the void, threatening to drag her into an endless abyss. Someone had told her about me, that I could help. Her desperation was palpable, and though I sensed danger, I couldn't turn away. The pull of the unknown was too strong. I searched through my collection of forbidden tomes, and unearthed an ancient sigil, one whispered to repel darkness. As I began the ritual tattoo, the room grew unnaturally cold. The lights flickered violently, and Emily whimpered in agony. Something was resisting the ink. Still, I pressed on, my hand steady even as the air thickened with unseen force. Just as the final line was inked, Emily collapsed, unconscious. When she awoke, her fear had ebbed, replaced with cautious relief. She thanked me profusely before vanishing into the rainy night. But I knew better, nothing about this job had gone cleanly. That night, it came for me. In my sleep, I found myself back in the shop. Only this time, it wasn't empty. The shadow from Emily's dreams stood before me, taller than any man, its face obscured by writhing black mist. It laughed, a sound like metal scraping bone, and whispered, "You shouldn't have interfered." I woke in a cold sweat. Days later, Emily returned. She looked worse than before, pale, hollow-eyed. The dreams were gone, she said, but now her home was haunted by whispers, strange movements, objects shifting on their own. She asked if she was cursed. I didn't have the heart to tell her what I suspected. The tattoo hadn't exorcised the entity, it had awakened it. I needed answers, so I went to a long-abandoned manor on the city's edge, a place rumored to be steeped in occult history. The air inside reeked of decay and sorrow. In the basement, I uncovered a crumbling manuscript bound in flesh and dust. Inside were passages detailing the origin of banishment sigils, the kind I'd used on Emily. They didn't destroy evil. They marked it, drew it out, gave it shape and attention. Anyone involved in the marking, artist or bearer, became linked to the darkness. I returned to my shop with the manuscript, and spent sleepless nights poring over its contents. Eventually, I found it, a counter-ritual, an ancient cleansing rite, that required a full moon, sacred ink, and the courage to face what the sigil had summoned. On the next full moon, Emily and I stood in the ruins of that cursed manor. We drew the circle, placed the runes, and began the ritual. As the final words left my lips, the shadow surged from the dark, howling, clawing, furious. I stood firm, invoking the new sigil inked onto my own skin. The clash was brutal, reality bending around us, the air vibrating with unholy rage. But as the ritual neared its end, the shadow lost form, screaming into the void from which it came. Silence fell. Emily was safe. But I was changed. This journal entry will serve as a reminder of the razor-thin line I walk, a warning to myself, and to anyone who dares to follow this path. The world of shadows is seductive, but treacherous. One misstep, and you may never find your way back.